All right. We only have so far, it says 3, but I think 2 of those Hare Krishna Africa.
Yes, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna,
It's right on time.
Yeah, devotees will be joining right now.
Let's see.
Well, you're in a panel.
So they just play Radha Madhava now. When
Thank you very much.
Haribo?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev, and all glories to His Holiness Kavicandra Swami Maharaj. Maharaj, we thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you. And I just found the Wi-Fi, so I have good connection. No problem.
Yes, thank you so much. So there are a few of us here now, but devotees will be joining shortly afterwards. So we may put the verse on the screen and then you may start speaking. All right.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
I can start scanning it.
Okay.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udire Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavat Utama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Purana Brahma Samitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishrayasaya Lokasya Danyam Swastaya Namaha. Okay, I'll read this verse. Narayane Bhagavati Tadidam Vishwam Ahitam Grihita Mayoru Gundi Sargadva Guna Swataha. Narayane Bhagavati Tadidam Vishwam Ahitam Grihita Mayoru Gunda Sangadav Aguna Swataha. Narayane Bhagavati Tadidam Vishwam Ahitam Grihita Mayoru Gunaha Sargadavaguna Swataha. Anyone else want to chant, please?
Narayane Bhagavati Tad Idam Vishwam Ahitam Grihita Mayoru Gunaha Sargadov Agunaha Swataha. Anyone else?
Narayana.
Okay,
Narayane Bhagavati.
I'll chant. Narayane Bhagavati Tad Idam Viswam Aitam Greta Mayo Gunai Sargada Aguna Swata.
Ladies? Maybe. Okay, Narayane
Narayane
unto Narayan.
unto Narayan.
Bhagavati,
Bhagavati,
the personality of Godhead.
the personality of Godhead.
Skip that. Tat idam.
Tad Idam.
All these. All these.
All these material manifestations. Right.
All these material manifestations.
All these material manifestations.
All the
Vishwam,
Vishwa,
all the universe.
all the
all the
universe.
universe.
Ahitam,
Ahitam,
situated.
situated.
Grihita,
Grihita,
having accepted.
having accepted.
Maya,
Maya,
material energies.
material energies.
Urugana,
Guru, Gana,
I can't use it.
Greatly powerful.
Greatly powerful.
greatly powerful.
Sarga Ado,
Sarga Ado,
in creation,
in
maintenance,
creation,
and destruction.
maintenance and destruction.
Aguna,
Aguna,
without affinity for the modes.
without affinity for the material modes.
Swata,
Swata,
self-sufficiency,
self-sufficient,
sufficiently.
self-sufficiently.
Translation. All the material manifestations of the universes are therefore situated in the powerful material energies, which he accepts self-sufficiently, although he is eternally without affinity for the material modes. Sorry, I'm just moving around trying to get set up here in the room. Everybody repeat this verse. All the material manifestations of the universe, the universe is birthday today?
All the material manifestations of the universes
Are therefore situated in the powerful material energies,
are therefore situated in his powerful material energies,
which he accepts self-sufficiently,
Which
which he
accepts
accepts
self-sufficiently,
self-sufficiently,
although he is eternally without affinity for the material modes.
although
although
he's
he is
eternally
eternally
with
without
affinity
affinity
for the material mode.
Purport. The question put by Narada before Brahma concerning the sustenance of the material creation is thus answered. Material actions and reactions in the material scientist can superficially observe are not basically ultimate truth in regard to creation, maintenance, and destruction. The material energy is a potency of a kind which is displayed in time, accepting the three qualities of goodness, passion, and ignorance in the forms of Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva. The material energy thus works under the supreme spell of the Lordship, although he is always transcendental to all such material activities. A rich man constructs a big house by spending his energy in the shape of resources, and similarly, he destroys a big house by his resources. But the maintenance is always under his personal care. The Lord is the richest of the rich because he is always fully complete in his opulences. Therefore, he is not required to do anything personally, but everything in the material world is carried out by his wishes and directions. Therefore, the entire material manifestation is situated in Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The impersonal conception of the Supreme Truth is due to lack of knowledge only, and this fact is clearly explained by Brahmaji, who is supposed to be the creator of the universal affairs. Brahmaji is the highest authority in Vedic wisdom, and therefore the supreme and in that this connection is therefore the supreme information. Wow. Om Agana Timirandasya Ganandana Shalakaya Chaksura Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarani Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevcha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gora Tushe Nama. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagat Pate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Okay, well, thank you for having me and thank you for attending. I have a special guest with me today. I'd like to have him speak a little bit later. He's a Maha book distributor, and we want to inspire book distribution there everywhere in the world. But here we're just, trying to get some understanding of Krishna, by knowing more and more about the material universes. Actually, scientists have absolutely no idea. I saw a so-called scientific statement once on a science magazine, and they were saying that we know one thing for sure about the universe, that 90% of it we don't know anything about. Therefore, we're the authorities, because we know what we don't know. And they don't really know about the 10%. But with so much endeavor, big telescopes and microscopes and everything, trying to find everything, but we understand that Krishna is creating all of these things, and he does it through the modes of nature. And here it's said they're manifested as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Sometimes we get confused and we think that, Brahma is in the mode of passion or something. Shiva is in the mode of ignorance. Even like Daksha, Shiva's own brother, he thought Shiva was in the mode of ignorance because he looks like that, because he wasn't rich. I mean, he is rich, but he didn't look rich. He didn't even have a house, even though Kailash Hill is almost Vaikuntha, where he lives. But he lives under a banyan tree and doesn't buy his wife new saris. But he's in charge of the mode of ignorance, and he's especially merciful to those in the mode of ignorance, luckily for us. So he helps us, he associates it with ghosts and hobgoblins, and he hangs around the cemetery not because he's relishing the environment, but he's liberating the souls that are trapped, that have left their body, but they're trying to get back, and somehow or other Shiva is able to help everybody. Brahma has to create the universe, whatever universe he's in. So he has to associate with the mode of passion. So we see sometimes he becomes bewildered also, but it's very temporary because he's doing it, as a service to Krishna. Krishna protects devotees who take service for him, although that service may mean they have to, especially usually associate with the mode of passion. But he assured, like Dhruva didn't, gave up the desire to be a king as soon as he saw the Lord. But Krishna said, I will protect you. You won't become affected by doing the passionate work of a king. Same thing, Prahlad. Prahlad didn't want to be the king of the demons. He just wanted to serve the Lord. But Krishna said, you have to do this service, and I will protect you, that you won't not become affected by these modes of nature. So similarly, we might have to work with, so many things in order to, the preaching movement is not that we go sit somewhere and just meditate or chant or, do puja. We're out in the world and we have to deal with, with everything, all the modes of nature, the most ignorant people, with a lot of the mode of passion. We want to build temples. We have to take care of, legal problems. We have people suing us, suing each other, all kinds of crazy things. But Krishna will protect us. That's his cause of mercy. As long as we stick to our basic sadhana, because then we're in a bubble, we're protected, and we can go out into the world and associate with all these things and never be affected by it. I had some realization a long time ago, but many of us and many devotees had a lot of health problems. And the doctors are saying stress. And I was thinking, why Prabhupada, he had so much stress. I mean, externally situations that were, much, much more than what we have to deal with. We deal with a small, tiny part of Prabhupada's world, Then I just thought, well, Prabhupada, he never thought I'm the doer. He always understood that Krishna's doing everything. So therefore, he didn't get stressed out. He would feel anxiety, have to, get something done, but it wasn't the same because he knew Krishna's doing everything. But Prabhupada told us we have to work as if we're the doer, but we should know we're not the doer. But if we don't try, nothing's going to get done. But we're not actually doing. So the modes of nature working, and actually behind that is Krishna. So this chapter is Purusha Sukta confirmed, to understand the Supreme Controller. And here it's mostly just talking still, not even Krishna, Mahavishnu, who's creating all the universes, because here it uses that term, all the universes. Not just this little universe, which, scientists think there might be other universes, but they don't even know what a universe is. But they have some idea. Some of their calculations are pretty much match the Vedic, time frame of the life of Lord Brahma. And they can't decide if the universe is expanding or shrinking or what. And we know, while Vishnu is breathing out, it's expanding. And when he breathes in, it's closing up again. And then finally it's finished. And then it comes out again. So we're a very tiny part of it. so that we can understand that Krishna is, Vishnu Mahan Siha Yasya Kala Vishesho. He's the universe, the Mahavishnu is a portion of the plenary portion of Krishna, quite far removed. Krishna, Balaram, then the Chaturvyuha in the spiritual world, and then Vaikuntha, there's another Chaturvyuha in the material world, and then comes Mahavishnu. But Krishna, is, so one breath of Mahavishnu is in all the universes, the lifetime of all the universes. But for Krishna, that's not even a breath, it's not a blink. So we get, by hearing about all these things about Krishna, we get some understanding. In our position, what is our position? Das. We're supposed to just try to serve, but how can we serve Krishna? Maybe we know about the universal form, but Prabhupada said, devotees don't like the universal form because you can't serve the universal. Krishna comes in the form of the deity, so we can serve him, so we can see him. Comes in the form of the books and all the scripture, so we can serve. We can hear his words. We can see his form. We can hear his name. We can chant his name. We can try to teach, as much as we can to share the holy name, share the books, and build temples so people can come and see the Lord, and have artwork, so many pictures. You go in a devotee's house or temple and there's pictures of Krishna everywhere. We love the form of the Lord. He's not formal. The Prabhupada mentions it in this purport. People that think the Lord is impersonal is a very foolish, idea. They talk about God being the Father, but then he can't be a person. You can't understand. It takes a special mercy to have some, to believe these things. One university class, I was in Lagos. So, most of them are Christians, and so they're always challenging, and they're trying to take over the class. When you ask for questions, then they give lectures. So somehow or other, I mentioned, I don't know why it just came out, that Krishna had 16,000 wives. And one guy he just freaked. Usually people say, nobody can have that many wives. And my father, he was atheistic. And he looked at the Krishna book and he saw that Krishna, and nobody could do that. I can't, that's, how can you believe this? You're brainwashed, you stupid kid, but this guy didn't say anything about the number 16,000. He just said, God can't get married. So I said, why not? You can get married. You think you're better than God, And of course, he couldn't answer that. They're so misled, they have no idea what God is. He said that the church, the Bible says you have to eat meat. I said, where did it say that? They can never show you. But anyway, Krishna's a person. They talk about he's a creator. Of course, most religions, that's as far as they get. He's a creator. He's all powerful. He's a destroyer. Many, they're not really thinking of Krishna. They're thinking of Shiva. He's a destroyer. The creator is maybe the Brahma, they have some idea, but Krishna is the creator of Brahma and many Brahmas, many Shivas. So he's the greatest. So we have all this nectar, we have all this information in the form of Prabhupada's books, and then we're really meant to distribute those books. If we want to really do the yoga, if you really want to please me and distribute the books, of course, that requires, like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a team to distribute the books. For one person to distribute a book, It's just like for one person to be on the battlefield, there's so many people behind, making the weapons, making the uniforms, building the trucks, driving the jeeps, and, piloting the airplanes for the parachuters. It takes and cooking and feeding and all. It takes so many people to get one man on the battlefield. So to get one person out distributing books, many others are required. So we have to have, but if we're all understanding, this is what we really want to do. We want to spread Krishna consciousness. If we try to just enjoy Krishna consciousness, we won't enjoy it. We'll start to doubt, well, this maybe doesn't work. Because we're not doing it, trying to enjoy, trying to take it easy, it doesn't work. Then mind will get crazy and start offending devotees. Offend devotees will offend the spiritual master, and offend the spiritual master will offend ultimately Krishna. But if we're trying to work together, supporting each other, to get the message out to the world, because there's no other way. It's Kali Yuga. I just noting, because I just gave a university class here in Vrindavan, and it was a psychiatry students, graduate students, and the subject was, mantras on helping mental health. So I was speaking, a few examples, but mostly I was speaking, how the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam talk about online. And of course they were listening. Then I realized later, if I had, had a PowerPoint with all the statistics of how many people are in the mental hospitals and how many people suicide, how many, antidepressants are sold every second, and they would be fascinated, much more attentive than when you're just talking the solution. Then I remember, like, when this happens often, but one devotee in Tokyo came in, and he's a serious devotee, he's a very good book distributor, does a lot of online preaching. So in Japan, most of the devotees we have, the Japanese, are girls. He said, "Do you think we can really, function with just women?" I said, "Yeah, but we don't care." Prabhupada didn't care who it was, but as long as they do the work. But anyway, we were just kind of talking about this and that. And then I just said, well, let's read some Chaitanya Charitamrita. He said, I'm up and awesome. We like to hear about the problems. We can discuss the problems. We can study sociology. But when it comes down to, hearing about the solution and what to speak of applying the solution, that requires a lot more effort, a lot more, but the rewards are very great. So we want to focus on this solution to the problems of the world and the problems of, our internal world, our own little world, the universe. Harinama, Harinama.
Maharaj, could you please unmute? You got muted. Okay.
Who did that?
I don't know. I don't know what happened, Maharaj.
Somebody is fooling around. All right. So anyway, we have here Gopal Champu Prabhu. He's a young boy, but he's been a very big book distributor in New York City, which is one of the most challenging places in the world. And now he's focusing on Bhagavatam sets. So I'm going to ask him to say a few words to the devotees of Africa about book distribution, and maybe you have some questions. How do you do it? How do you keep going? Whatever it is, because we have all the devotees know that because of the books they came ultimately. And even if you came for some other reason, we stay because of the books. And we make friends, based on the books, whether it's just studying the books, whether it's teaching the books, whether it's reading, distributing them. So you want to come over here? And so this is Gopal Champu Prabhu. He's
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for being here.
My basis of Srila Prabhupada. I'm actually here on the instruction of His Holiness Kavicandra Maharaj. He's very kind, very merciful. And I can just say, Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangalam Bhaidegirim Yakripatam Himande Shivaram. By the mercy of the spiritual master, even a lame man can walk and a dumb man can speak eloquent words. So I'll try to say something. As far as book distribution goes, yes, was my main service since I joined. Continues to be the main thing that's on my mind. And just today we were here in Sri Vrindavan Dham. We went we were going on a Yamuna boat ride, but on the way we did Harinam and book distribution on the way to the Yamuna Ghat. So a couple of things that came to mind when Maharaj mentioned, you should say a few things on book distribution. Things that my Guru Maharaj, His Grace Vaisheshika Guru, has been emphasizing on recently, and things he has emphasized on. And just the exercise we did this morning that really made me also think about how to keep book distribution on the forefront of our mind. So I guess I mentioned what happened this morning. So this morning we were doing, he does this thing called the Make Japa Great Again. And the purpose of this is to really focus on the japa. And the 4 laws of book distribution, the first thing is strong sadhana. So we were focusing on the japa this morning. He had us do a guided meditation. And in this meditation, he had us sit under a desire tree. And while we sat under this desire tree, he said, whatever is your strongest desire, bring this to the front of your mind and really meditate on it. And I realized at that moment, immediately, the only thought that came to the front of my mind was the instruction that he gave me before he initiated me 7 years ago. And he said that my mission is to expand the movement that Srila Prabhupada started. I should especially be keen to see as Srila Prabhupada's books are widely distributed to as many people as possible all over the world, and that the process of book distribution is passed down to the next few generations of devotees. And I should also consider reading Srila Prabhupada's books thoroughly and repeatedly to be among the most valuable of all services, and to teach others to do the same. So I just thought that was significant, that because I meditate on that instruction every morning when I wake up and every night before I go to bed, it's the strongest desire I have actually when I think about it. So I think this is one of the most important things is in our book distribution is to cultivate that strong desire to do it. Because if we don't have a desire to do it, why would Krishna reciprocate when we go out? We'll find it difficult, we'll find it tough. Yes, it's going to be all those things. But if our desire is strong, Krishna is the super soul within everyone's heart. So therefore, when we come in contact with someone and we have a strong desire for them to receive this knowledge, Krishna, as the Paramatma within their heart, will convince them to take a book, even if we don't speak the language. So the example today, we're walking down on the Parikrama Marg. I don't speak Hindi. And there was these 3 gentlemen standing. I went up to them. I put a lollipop in each one of their hands. I put a book in each one of their hands. I stuck out my hands and I said, Dan. And I just looked at them. And they all looked at each other. And the first one took out 10 rupees. And then the other one looked at him and he's like, okay, you're going to take something out too? So he took out 10 rupees. And then the final guy took out 10 rupees as well. And then just a little bit further along, there was these, so those are Brajbasis. They were men that live. And then a little further along, we were going by the Banka Bihari temple. So there were a lot of people from out of town. You can see these people coming from Delhi or something. So I went up to them, I approached them again. I approached the husband husband he didn't look at me. He just, didn't pay attention. Then the wife stopped and she looked at me and I put the book in her hand. She started looking through the book and then she looked at me and then our daughter came over. I gave her a lollipop and then I just did the same thing. Done. And then again.
Dan means donation.
Dan means donation. And then the girl looked at the mom. The mom looked at the father. And then the mom looked at the girl. She gave him a donation. She pulled out 100 rupees and gave me that donation. And they took 2 books. So having that desire for people to get the knowledge. Because as Prabhupada mentioned, when the devotees asked them a few different things. So this one thing when the devotees asked Prabhupada, what should we say when we distribute books? Prabhupada quoted verse 43 from Bhagavatam. It says, Krishna swa dhamma bhagate dhamma jnana divisaha kalau nasandra samesa puranako dunodita. It says that this Srimad Bhagavatam, this Bhagavad Purana, is the light to illuminate the path in this age of Kali, which is it's covered by darkness, ignorance. So Prabhupada said you can quote this verse when you're distributing books. Another thing Prabhupada said in this same regard, as far as because there's a bunch of different techniques. What technique is the best? What Prabhupada said in this regard, here in Vrindavan actually, there was 2 groups of book distributors who were doing huge, and they both, were swearing by their technique that their technique was the best. So they both went to Srila Prabhupada and then they expressed their techniques to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, well, actually, the real thing is you teach the devotees to become sincere. And then with a sweeping motion, with his right hand, he put his right hand over his heart, and he said, then the master within the heart will tell him what to say. This brings me to the other point, a few verses that I meditate on when I'm distributing books. And some realization I've gotten from these verses. So for example, Pranadapi Sunichena Tarodapi Sahishrana Amani Namanadena Kirtani Yasadahari. So of course this is applying to the holy name, but also book distribution is not different than you can say Harinam and expanding the holy name. So yes, when we're distributing books, we need these qualities. Pranadapi Sunichena. We need to be more humble than a blade of grass. Tarodapi Sahishrana. We need to be more tolerant than a tree. We need to be ready to offer all respect to others. Why? Because when we approach people, they're not always going to be happy to see us. Actually, most of the time, they won't be happy to see us. But we still offer them all respects within our mind. And in this way, Kirtaniya Sadahari, we can continue to distribute books, no matter what we're facing. Another verse I like to think about is Tesa Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Pritipurvakam Tadhami Bhudi Yogantam Yehena Mamupayantate from Bhagavad Gita 10:10. And here this Krishna says, to those who are exclusively devoted to serving me with love, I give the intelligence by which they can come to me. So similarly, we can think, when we're exclusively focused on distributing Srila Prabhupada's books, Krishna will give us the intelligence of what to say to convince these people to take books. And then another favorite is Katasana Smite Yasmin Dustaram Sukaram Bhavet Vismite Viparitam Shat Shri Chaitanya Nanamitam. And this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Mahadya Lila. Also, I think Adi Lila, chapter 14, verse 1, where it's saying that things that are impossible to do becomes easy if one remembers Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And things that are easy to do become impossible if one does not remember Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To this Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my most respectful obeisances. So those are just a few things, a few thoughts on book distribution. So yeah, so I think more than anything is cultivating the desire and cultivating the right mood, with which to do it. Because there's a saying, it's not always what you say, but how you say it. So if you're saying it with, a deep sincerity, a deep desire to actually get this knowledge out, then we can become effective. We can become instruments in the hand of our spiritual masters and Srila Prabhupada and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And and I just ask that all the devotees here, please bless me, please pray for me, that I can dedicate this one life to the service of my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. And yeah, that's what I have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay, desire. That Shuddhi Kirti Prabhu said one time they were driving away in the car with Prabhupada. Some devotee was running, Prabhupada, how can I? Prabhupada just said, desire. Everything is based on desire. Vrindavan, of course, is a desire tree. And there are many specific desire trees, all the trees. But everything is a desire. Krishna is a desire tree. So we have, the idea is to focus our desire. What do we want? Because we're going to get what we want. And we're getting things we wanted in the past. So sometimes we're wondering, what's this? We wanted them. Krishna, why did you give me this? Well, you asked for it last year or last week or yesterday. But if we focus that desire, just Hare Krishna, let me serve. Simple thing. Serve the devotees. How can we serve Krishna? People ask, how can you serve God? And of course, we've been given bhakti yoga where you can directly serve in the form of the deity. But chanting should be as a service, But Hari Prabhu, he said when he leads kirtan, he thinks of it as a service to the devotees, and he wants to get everybody chanting. Kadamba Kanamar said he doesn't consider it a kirtan until everybody's dancing. Otherwise, it's failure. So, but it is a service. We want other people to chant. We want people to hear it. So that's service to Krishna. Serving the devotees is serving the Guru, and serve the Guru. We serve Krishna. So I think it's very nice of you to. I can't see. Oh yeah, I see. We did get a few here. Yeah. So I don't have glasses. So. Rup Rasa Vilas is always there. Kusadas even. Jai. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Okay, David's always there. Viraha. Shriman Viraha. Haribol.
Hi, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So what are your comments today? What are your realizations as we try to push on the Sankirtan movement in the dark continent? The richest continent in the world, and the whole world depends on the natural resources of Africa. It's a fact. The Western civilizations were built a lot by African slaves or African workers. And they're getting all these metals and, minerals and oil and so many things from Africa. So let's help the African people. They all believe in God, but they don't know much about God. We want to teach them how to really live a godly life. So your comments and your questions?
Yes, Hare Krishna. Anyone with questions, comments, realizations, please?
Right, I have one question on this month of Kartik. Month of Kartik and Gopunima. Which one is most?
Which one's more important?
Yes, because some people come to Gopunima, they don't come to Kartik. Some come to India to Kartik, they don't come to Gopunima. So which one is really more important than the one who want to come to only one time in a year?
It's not like you said, it's not what you say, but how you say it. So it's not when you come, but how you do it, how you take advantage of it. Because Prabhupada said, like the Kartik is like a big sale, like a department store. They say everything marked down 50%. You get more for your money. So it's trying to attract people, with all that. But it really, what benefit we're going to get depends on what we put into it. Like Gopal Champu, is he coming here? Is with his Guru Vaishya Sika Prabhu. They just sit in Govardhan and read. What are you reading this year?
Fourth canto.
You read the fourth canto and they read like, what, 5-6 hours a day. So they really take advantage of the Kartik month. But others do many other things. Some don't want to go to India. They just want to distribute books. Actually, I was thinking, one of the best Kartik I ever had, I went to Japan. I was all by myself, going out and distributing books every day. And I was reading very intensely. And it was really amazing. I really had a wonderful time. So that's in Osaka, Japan, and a particularly holy place. But there's a lot of people who distribute books. So, but it depends. You can't say that. It's like sometimes we ask, what's more important, japa or kirtan? They're both important. They're both supposed to support each other.
Yeah.
We have to do both because that's our prescription. So, like if it says take your medicine with after meal or with food or before meal, they tell you how to take it. So you have to take the medicine according to the direction of the doctor, otherwise it's not going to work. So how you take it, what you put into it is what you get out. All right? So,
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. We have Her Grace,
Okay.
Mr. Upanishad. Please, you may unmute.
Jai, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dhanyavad. Haribol Maharaj, thank you for the wonderful, enthusiasm on book distribution. The guest that you provided for us to share on how we become more sincere was very, very pleasing and wonderful. So there were a couple verses that he quoted, and I just wanted to make sure I had them all. I know he quoted from the Srimad Bhagavatam 1:343 and the Chaitanya
Yes.
Chaitamrita, Adi Leela verse number 1. And you said the Bhagavad Gita,
What was
right?
that? Yeah, Chaitanya Charitamrita is Adi Leela chapter 14, verse 1, and Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, verse 10.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for
Hare Krishna.
enthusiasm and
Thank
book
you.
distribution. Haribol, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hey,
Krishna.
Ishapan, where are you stationed?
I'm in Akron, Ohio, Cleveland, actually Cleveland.
Really?
Yes,
Cleveland?
I'm from Cleveland. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, yes, Maharaj.
You're from Cleveland, so you're in the
Yeah, I'm
famous
from
dynasty
Cleveland.
there.
Yeah, Haribol, Hare
Wonderful.
Krishna. Jai.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Mr. Upanishad. So we go to His Grace Ras Vilas Prabhu. Please, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. I'm all obeisance at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna to assemble devotees.
Yeah, your lights are
Maharaj,
on now.
Maharaj,
The
please, I'm
lights, you
audible.
don't have any lights.
I'm currently
Yeah.
at work. I'm getting the storehouse and then I'm making joining the
Yeah.
class from here. So,
Okay.
Maharaj, I don't have a question, but I just want to appreciate your presence today and giving us your lectures. And then I also want to appreciate Prabhuji for enlightening us to encourage us in the Prabhupada's book distribution. Please, I just want to plead with you. I have a request from my brother who is military personnel in the Ghana Armed Forces. He is currently serving on a peace mission in South Sudan, and then Uganda. So this morning, he sent a voice note to me that they have been asked to write an article to be published in their Gambat, what's the name? Their Gambat magazine. I don't know what the Gambat magazine is, but he actually gave a very nice suggestion that he doesn't know anything to write, but he wants me to write anything about Hare Krishna for him so that he can share on his behalf to be printed. But I don't know what to write. I don't know how to start it. So I want to ask or request from the Assembly devotees and Maharaj yourself for your permission and then blessing and guidance, or if any assistance from any devotee here on what to write, because I feel like this is an opportunity to present Srila Prabhupada's philosophy or any of what Hare Krishna is all about to these people. I don't know why he chose us, but I'm sure there should be an arrangement we can also do. So I'm just requesting if there's any instruction, what to write, how best to write it, and any support from the Assembly of Devotees here. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Well, you have to write, the best thing is to write your own feelings, your own, experience. People can relate to that. What you feel you gained or lost.
Is it already calibrated? The wings, is it?
I've seen this different ways. Usually they say it's from Buddha. Sometimes they say a sage, but someone asked him, what have you gained by your meditation? Because everybody's looking, what do I get from this? He said, I haven't gained anything. So people were like, what? And he said, but I lost many things, and I don't have any loss anymore. I don't have greed. I don't have anger. I don't have envy. How he's benefited. So if you're just writing for, non-devotee type people, then if you just write your own experience, how it affected you and it changed your life and how you feel so much relief, that you're not mad after, whatever, and you become peaceful, then that has a powerful effect. Is that right? What do you think? Gopal?
Yes,
What would you?
I agree.
Yeah.
I think something like that always kind of catches people is something like, oh, you're not your body, or something like that. Those always.
Yeah, the nature that we want to be happy, and happy. Why do we want to be happy? Because actually that's the nature of the soul. But because we're identifying with the body and not the soul, we have all this suffering, misery, and misconceptions. So that, like that Vodi quoted, verse he quoted, it means that this Bhagavatam has arisen just like the sun to dissipate the darkness of Kali Yuga. And we also say Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda have come. They dark, light. Sometimes people refer to light as a word for knowledge. Turn on the lights. When you have knowledge, then you can see things as they are. Like here, the lights just went out for a minute. It's in Vrindavan now is so crowded, everything's overloaded. So the lights go out. It's the third time, but they come right back because they have a generator. But all right, that's what I can say. Any other devotees on the line there that are writers or something? You can say something. Help him. Keep it short, keep it simple, basic.
Well, I think, Maharaj, thank you. And
This book, helped me so much. People can't argue with that.
yeah.
One Mataji, my god sister, I think she's too old to run around, but she was distributing books a lot, even in her 70s. And she just said, I just say, this is my favorite book. And she said, that's easy to say because it is my favorite book. Nobody can argue. I don't believe that. You're just saying that, But if you say this is the greatest book in the world, this is the ancient scripture and it's the oldest, well, everybody says that. All the religions say that, But I've just got some. I hope you could get what I got, something like that. Be very personal, sharing your wisdom, your realizations. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Maharaj, thank you for the ideas given, and Gopal.
That goes for all of us, any kind of preaching, if you're distributing books, if people want to know what I get from it.
Yeah.
I just read, I saw on the internet about some super salesman came up and then he was saying how, Coca-Cola doesn't sell a drink, they sell experience.
Mhm.
Coke is it. Now in India, the advertisement is real magic. Coca-Cola, real magic. Everybody wants magic. They're not selling drink. They don't sell, whatever. People are just selling the experience, what you get from this product, not the product. And so, that's what we tell people. I remember in Japan, I would just learn different lines from the Japanese, and just memorize some slogan. So one girl, she was the number one in the world for a while. She said, Konohon yonde irodakade, anata no jinsei ga kage akimasu. That means if you just read this book, your life will light up.
Wow.
And we want to give this book, I can't remember the word for this one, but, we want to give this to people like you that look like really intelligent. But it's true. And then you start to realize, this is really something special. And we want to share it. So thank you for attending the class. I know the schedule, I don't know. This worked out for me pretty good because Gopal showed up, and otherwise I'd stay up all night. But so, it's again, I have to thank Kusam. Everybody should remember that he created this format, and to get so many speakers, so many devotees connected with the African yatras, and not only, that's a lot of work actually finding all these people and scheduling. So everybody please thank him, bless him. And he also set up the Zoom so we can have these classes. And we have to feel indebted to Mr. Zoom or whoever created it. Because there were other attempts at similar kind of things, but they all didn't work right. But the Zoom works really good. And it can do so many more things that we don't even know. But, it's so just like these people, they analyze and they think, what do people want? And if they can't, or else they just make you want it, make you think you need this. So it's been a great boon for our preaching all over the world. But still face to face, person to person, touching, hugging, looking in the eyes, it's very important. We don't want to. A lot of devotees become so attached they don't even go to the temple, they just zoom around. Zoom. Okay, anything else?
Yes, Maharaj, thank you so much for being here and giving us your blessings and associations and wisdom. And we also really appreciate the ideas given to His Grace Ras Vilas in regards to writing something to his brother in the military. And also His Grace Gopal Champu Prabhu. Thank you so much for the insights in book distribution. And our humble obeisance to your precious divine Gurudev, His Grace Vashishika Prabhu, who is
Okay, thank you everybody very much. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Remember this, everybody, please, before you wake up in the morning, after you wake up, and all day, and before you go to sleep, Harinama, Harinami, Vikevalam, Kaluvana, Stevana, Stevana, Stevanatana. This is the only way in the Kali Yuga to achieve the topmost goal, and we got to be intelligent and spread the holy name. We can't. We're seeing all over the world now that a lot of wars are getting publicity. It's certainly not helping anybody except the people that sell the weapons. No one else is benefiting by the wars, right? And then after they've devastated some country, then they go in and take all whatever money they have left over to rebuild everything. And the only people benefit are the few big demons. The only thing that's really going to help the world is the more the holy name is spread. And I mean, that includes the books, the prasadam, and more preaching centers or temples or, outside festivals, whatever it is, where people can get together and chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you very much.
Hare
All
Krishna.
glories to the Son of the devotees.
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
All glories to Shri
Jai.
Guru, Shri Gauranga.
So,
Hari Bol.
thank you
Yeah,
very much.
devotees.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, devotees, we're going to have a request to kindly unmute and wait all to Hare Krishna Mahamantra to express our gratitude to Maharaj. Jai. Hare Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Ram Hare Hare.
Mantra Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa
Nanta Koti Vaishnava Bhutta Ki Jai. Solo Kavicandra
Jai.
Swami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Krishna.